You may have heard the term generational wealth. This is money that passes from one generation to the next and is perceived as a family inheritance, family property, and hopefully it's being used to improve the lives and the success probability of that next generation. Now, only in the past generation has this actually started taking off. Baby boomers, for the most part, may have inherited a house, a little bit of assets from their parents or grandparents, but it usually wasn't significant enough to fundamentally change their lifestyle. A few occasions it did. You had somebody that was extremely wealthy in that greatest generation, but for the most part, very few baby boomers inherited assets, net worth that was significant compared to the assets they've accumulated by the time they inherited it. Now you have Generation X, and next is the millennials. I see a very different story happening. The baby boomers and Gen X will be passing on significant amounts of wealth to the millennials and beyond. And this will happen not now, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now potentially. But when they do, these will be noticeable inheritances for a lot of millennials and Gen Z. I'm right there at the cusp of Gen X and millennial, and I see it. I see my parents, those friends and neighbors around me are very likely to inherit money. Not now, it will be decades from now, but it will be a noticeable amount to that millennial generation. What you do with it is extremely important. It's a new concept that the older generation needs to teach the lower generation how they want to spend that money, how they want the generation, the kids and grandkids to use that money. Because if you leave someone with $1 million or $10 million, they're going to do very different things than you have. So be thinking about that. If you plan or expect to leave a large net worth, a large nest egg to your kids or grandkids, have those conversations ahead of time, decades ahead of time, so that they don't get this mindset of, oh, I'm going to inherit $1 million and I'm going to go pay off my house and then I'm going to go buy a cool car and a beach cottage and blah, 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 blah. Make sure you've passed on the principles, the disciplines with finances, because they may or may not have much accumulated on their own. And if they haven't accumulated it on their own, they're far less likely to make your inheritance last another generation. I'm Justin Struble with BSG Advisors. We're not brokers, we're fixers.